Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode. Today, we're going to be talking about the 7.4 update for Lychee Slicer, the multi-plate update. And the reason I'm this excited about it is because this is a really big update. Multi-plates are a really big feature, and being able to work on a bunch of plates at the same time is great not only for batch printing, but it's great for multi-complex part projects like the pre-supporting projects that I work on every single day. So it's a really helpful thing for me to be able to pull all the parts in, create all the plates I need to be able to see everything I'm working on all at once. And if you're working on a system that can handle all that, let me tell you, it's a really cool update. If you're interested in checking out more, I'm going to paste the link to the changelog in the description. Y'all can check it out. At the very bottom, there's a link to join the Discord, and you can get in more information on how to download the 7.4 update. Right now, if you go to download Lychee Slicer, you will be given the 7.3.2 update, which is the newest stable release. This one currently is beta, and they are looking to put this into production soon. So for those of you that are interested, like I said, check out the changelog. There will be a link at the bottom there for their Discord. You can check that out and get more information on getting the beta edition for 7.4. Now, multi-plate is cool. You can create up to 49 plates manually within the visual interface or the the object menu on the side. There's also this thing called the outside plate that they've created for it, which essentially is if you delete a plate, the objects that were on that plate go to this outside plate. Then you can recover those objects out of that outside plate, place them onto another one. Essentially, the objects don't get deleted, but the plate does, if that makes any sense. You can move objects between plates very easily just by dragging them. I am going to demonstrate this for y'all, so we're going to take a look. There's a new Control-C, Control-V kind of hotkey copy that's been added, so you can copy and paste models. A couple new printer compatibilities have also been added. Elegoo Centauri Carbon and the Centauri, as well as the Frozen Sonic Mega 8K V2 have all had some compatibilities added for resin, and the Formlabs TrueCast resin profiles are now available for 10 new printers for Elegoo, 2 new Frozen, and 1 new Anycubic machine. That's the biggest parts of it. Really, it's the multi-plate thing. And if that wasn't enough to get you excited, I don't know what is. But we're going to go ahead and get into it. I'm going to show you guys the multi-plate thing, and you guys can get excited too. All right, here we go. All right, so here we are taking a look at Lychee Slicer here. And, this is your common look. As you can see, there's already a little graphical thing right there. We've got the number 1. So we can already see something's different. So when you're working with a bunch of parts, and for my own protection, I have removed the lower body torso part. But when you're working with a bunch of parts like this, it's really convenient, to be able to hide them. And I've already, I love the fact that Lychee's had this object selector already where I can go and hide the objects. I always thought that was wonderful. It's a great way to organize your projects. But we're not talking about that. We're talking about multi-plate. So multi-plate takes it a step further where you now have multiple workspaces. So we're going to change this to, my X2. Everyone hates this printer. I still use it. It's still a workhorse. I've got zombie parts in the back to keep this thing working because you can't buy them anymore. This was quite literally one of the cheapest 9-inch resin printers on the market, and for some reason it just was built so poorly, people hated it. So anyway, what you're going to want to do, obviously, if you're going to want a multi-plate, is you're going to want to come over here, and you can either do it through the menu here, where you can do it down the bottom. You can say, okay, I want to add a plate, and there's your plate. Or you can go here and you can add a plate, and that'll add a plate there too. And like I said, you can have 49 different plates. And I know that seems excessive, right? You guys, what do I need 49? Well, some of the models I work on have 23 to 26 parts, and that's just, a couple variations. So when you're talking about projects of that size and that scope, it is extraordinarily helpful to be able to take the parts. And I'm going to need these, separate at some point. And now I can literally create all of my scenes without having to save so many independent Lychee files. And the other beautiful thing is I can export independently as a scene file or STL files in my export menu. So the ability to export individually is still there. So there you have it. That is how the multi-plate system works. And yes, if you're wondering, can I support, analyze, scan, island check, and all that across every plate? You sure can. Simply do it the same way you normally would. And you can even set up supports. Not that we're doing this, but this will set up supports for you like this across every single model. You'll notice it takes a little bit of time because it's got to go through every single one. So if you've got 49 plates, it's got to set up supports for 49 objects. If you have 49 plates, it's got to check islands for 49 plates worth of objects. So keep that in mind. If each plate has multiple objects, the way I'm demonstrating here is you can use this for the ability to, have a bunch of stuff that you're working on at once. If you want to literally multi-plate and print a bunch of different setups at once, you can do that too. That is totally an applicable way to do it. You can simply, and again, it's really easy. You can just click on the build plate and just move around. It is very intuitively designed. This was very well done. It gets a little bit big once you start having all these plates out here. But again, they thought of that. You can make them disappear, just like you can make objects disappear on the object system. So again, you can hide them. They're still there. You can still see the little grayed out squares. And then boom. Now you can work on this one object and you have no other distractions, except for maybe a couple little graphical markers in the background, but I don't think that's going to bother anybody. And I think you can actually click, yeah, you can expose them by clicking the eyeball while it's literally sitting there, and then you can hide them again. So it's pretty neat. It's pretty neat system. They did a good job with it. I think this is very well implemented. Bravo, guys at Mango Lychee. You guys did good with this one. For anyone who's interested in checking it out, again, check out the link. I'll put that in the description. That'll have some information there on how to check out the Discord and find out how to download the 7.4 update. As far as the way other things work within the multiplate, like we talked about the whole copy and paste, I can demonstrate that here if you want. Essentially, it allows you to copy and paste objects where you couldn't do that before. And using a hotkey to do it is pretty handy. Yeah, you have to do it. You have to do it in the Prepare tab, but it will copy everything, including supports. And it's essentially using the copy command. It's down here, but it's doing it with a hotkey. So loads easier. Oh, also, copies you make are going to appear on plate 1, not whatever plate you copied on. The other bug I've encountered is that when you hollow something, it'll hollow, and then it's going to think it's on plate 1, but it won't move itself. And so you'll have to kind of manually move it and then move it back. A little bit of a bug. I made notes of these things. I'm going to report all this stuff. Anyway, that's pretty much the update for 7.4. This is not going to really be that long of an episode as usual with the update stuff. That is pretty much how the multiplate thing works. I think it's pretty wild. Definitely got some function. And we're actually going to be revisiting this same model we're looking at right here to talk about some things about larger scale model building. And I was going to discuss some practice ideas about how to use some different styles of supporting and orientation measures for different body parts when it comes to larger scale models, heads, things like that. Even just busts. But this is a great example because she's got a lot of weird parts on her that have some interesting little bits and bobs kind of hanging off. So I thought this would be a good one to demonstrate since a lot of folks are getting more and more detailed with some of their sculpts. So things are starting to look more like large scale, hyper detailed minis, and doing that, printing those, and sometimes getting them done if you don't have the pre-support stuff. It's difficult to get it right. So, we're going to take a look at that. And I'm going to show you some different methods that you can use to set up, orientation for body parts and different ways you can set up files if you run into issues. Cuts and things like that that you might have problems with, like if there's an angle orientation problem, like you're trying to figure out the best way to position something, but it just doesn't quite make sense. Those sorts of things. I'm going to go over that. So anyway, if you're interested, that's going to be the next episode coming out later on this month. So thank you all so much for watching as usual. I appreciate every one of you. You're all wonderful people. Have a wonderful, wonderful day, and we'll see you all real soon. Bye-bye now.